Tony Allen, the Grindfather. If NBA defenses had a mafia boss, it would be Tony Allen, aka the Grindfather. This guy didn't just play defense, he lived it. While other players chased highlight dunks and three-point barrages, Allen thrived in the gritty, grimy trenches of the game. His style was pure chaos for anyone unlucky enough to get matched against him. Tony Allen wasn't flashy, far from it. His shooting was abysmal, below 30% from three-point range over his career, making him the poster child for don't expect points, expect pain. But scoring? That was never his game. Allen's value was in his ability to turn the lights off on opposing stars, smothering their every move with a relentless, suffocating defense. You wanted to score? Good luck doing it with Tony lurking like a pit bull on your hip. Allen's career steals per game averaged over 1, a number that reflects more than stats. It shows how disruptive he was. He was that annoying mosquito you couldn't swat away, the kind of defender who made stars sweat bullets even when he wasn't making a flashy play. His reputation for dirty, aggressive defense earned him multiple all-defensive team selections, and for good reason. You don't get called Grindfather for handing out hugs. One of his most notorious moments? In 2012, during a playoff game against the Miami Heat, Allen's defense on LeBron James was so suffocating, it seemed like he was the only one who could slow down the king. Not many can say they had that kind of impact in a series starring a generational talent. While Allen never won a championship with the Memphis Grizzlies, his legacy as the ultimate defensive nightmare is etched forever. Off the court, Tony was a leader, the kind of guy who led by example, grinding every day, embodying the blue-collar ethos of Memphis basketball. His teammates respected him not just for the hustle, but for his fierce loyalty and unyielding toughness. If you want to understand Tony Allen, imagine a guy who makes it his mission to make your life on the court so miserable, you'll wish you'd stayed home watching reruns. That's the Grindfather. Not a scorer, not a showman, but an absolute defensive terror. And in a league obsessed with points, sometimes the best weapon is making sure your opponent scores 0. Kyle Anderson, the slow-motion player. In a league where speed and explosiveness often steal the spotlight, Kyle Anderson is the NBA's ultimate slow-motion enigma. Nicknamed Slow-Mo, Anderson moves with a style so deliberately unhurried, you'd swear he's playing basketball underwater, except he's doing it at the highest level in the world. It's almost like watching a nature documentary, where every dribble, every step, is a carefully calculated move in a slow dance with defenders who never quite know what's coming next. Standing 6'9" with the agility of a much smaller guard, Kyle's game is the polar opposite of the lightning-quick guards and explosive forwards dominating the league. His dribble is more hesitant than hurried, his steps measured, not frantic. But don't let the chill tempo fool you. This guy's basketball IQ is off the charts. While he doesn't rack up flashy stats or thunderous dunks, Anderson impacts the game in quiet but crucial ways. He's a master of defense, using his length and anticipation to disrupt passing lanes and frustrate opponents. His rebounding numbers might not jump off the page, but his presence on the boards is always timely. And when it comes to making the right play at the right moment, no forced shots, no unnecessary hero ball, Anderson is a coach's dream. Think of Kyle Anderson as the NBA's version of a stealthy ninja in a league full of brawlers and sprinters. His style is unorthodox, slow, and graceful. The kind of player who can lull opponents into a false sense of security before delivering a subtle dagger, a perfectly timed assist, a calm finish through traffic, or a defensive stop that nobody noticed until the replay. Critics sometimes mock his pace, questioning if he's too slow for today's NBA, but Anderson's steady approach has carved out a valuable niche. His ability to control tempo, calm down frantic offenses, and make winning plays without breaking a sweat makes him a uniquely weird and surprisingly effective player. In a league obsessed with highlight reels and blistering speed, Kyle Anderson's slow-motion game is a reminder that basketball doesn't always have to be fast to be effective. Sometimes the best weapon is patience and the ability to play your own rhythm no matter how different it looks. Jason Williams, White Chocolate. When it comes to NBA flash and flair, Jason White Chocolate Williams was the original highlight. Real maestro. A man who seemed to treat every game like a magic show where the basketball was the rabbit he could pull out of his hat anytime. His passing was so flashy, so absurdly creative, it left defenders and fans alike wondering if they were watching basketball or a circus act. Williams was the ultimate showman, with passes that defied physics, behind-the-back no-look dishes, one-handed alley-oops, and insane cross-court feeds that made you question whether the ball was glued to his hands. You couldn't predict what he was about to do next, and honestly, half the time he couldn't either. But all that flair came with a cost, a notoriously high turnover rate. Sometimes his magic tricks backfired spectacularly, leaving his teammates face-palming as the ball slipped away. You could say his style was as risky as it was beautiful, the basketball equivalent of playing with fire while wearing gasoline-soaked gloves. Despite his chaotic approach, Williams wasn't just a gimmick. He averaged nearly 6 assists per game in his career and was instrumental in making his teams run smoother offenses. He had a basketball IQ that allowed him to read defenses and create openings, even if sometimes his creativity outran his decision-making. White chocolate didn't always light up the scoreboard with points, but he made the people around him better, a court general who played to entertain as much as to win. His style was polarizing. Some coaches found it frustrating, while fans couldn't get enough. He embodied the NBA's wild and wonderful side, the part that reminds us that basketball isn't just sport, it's art. In a world where stats often rule, Jason Williams reminds us that sometimes you just want to watch the ball dance, fly, and spin in ways you've never seen before, and that's a kind of magic all its own. Tony Snell, the Ghost. If you ever wonder what it looks like to be a ghost on the basketball court, just watch Tony Snell do his thing. This guy's game is so quiet, so understated, that he routinely plays entire games without making a single splash on the highlight reels. Yet somehow, he's the one who quietly holds down the fort. Snell's 2021 season was legendary for an odd reason. He became the first NBA player to shoot over 50% from the field, nearly 57% from three-point range, and 100% from the free throw line with enough attempts to matter. That's right, perfect shooting splits that sound more like a glitch in the Matrix than actual basketball stats. But here's the kicker. Tony Snell isn't the star scorer. He barely touches the ball enough to warrant a mention in most post-game analyses. He's the archetype of the 3-and-D guy taken to the extreme, providing just enough offense and airtight defense without rocking the boat or demanding the spotlight. His ability to seamlessly blend into the flow of the game, making the right plays without forcing anything, is what coaches love. He's the player who won't make you cheer with thunderous dunks or jaw-dropping crossovers, but he also won't give you a reason to worry when he's on the floor. In a league obsessed with highlight reels, Tony Snell is a reminder that sometimes the quietest players are the ones keeping the engine running smoothly. The Ghost might not get the glory, but he sure as heck gets the job done. Shawn Marion, the Matrix. Few players earned nicknames as perfectly suited as Shawn, the Matrix Marion. His shooting form alone looked like something designed by a mad scientist. Unconventional, awkward, yet devastatingly effective. Watching Marion shoot was like watching a Rube Goldberg machine in motion. Bizarre mechanics, leading to beautiful results. But Marion wasn't just about the funky shot. He was a Swiss Army knife on the court, able to defend multiple positions, guard the league's best scorers, and play inside or outside with ease. Averaging over a steal and a block per game during his career, Marion was a defensive nightmare who could shut down your best player and then run the floor like a gazelle. What made the Matrix truly special was his versatility. He could guard centers bigger than him, stretch the floor with three-pointers, and attack the rim with surprising agility. Coaches loved having him because he filled so many roles, often without needing to be the focal point of the offense. Offensively, Marion wasn't a volume shooter, but when he hit his shots, it felt like the defense had been hacked. His unpredictable shooting motion and aggressive attacking style made him tough to guard. He was the perfect blend of chaos and precision. In an NBA that prizes specialists, Shawn Marion was a throwback, a multi-tool player who could do it all, just in a way that seemed totally weird. But weird works when you're the Matrix. PJ Tucker, the undersized power forward. If you ask any NBA player about PJ Tucker, you'll hear stories of a relentless warrior who plays like he's got nothing to lose and everything to prove. At just 6'5", Tucker is the classic undersized power forward who makes up for lack of height with the nastiest attitude and the hardest elbows on the court. Tucker's game isn't about finesse or flash. It's about grit, toughness, and an obsession with defense so intense it borders on Violent. He guards the tallest, strongest players without blinking, bodying up giants and refusing to give an inch. His boxing out and rebounding are legendary, often outworking players much bigger than him. He's also one of the best corner three shooters in the league, a deadly combination of perimeter threat and in-your-face defender. Offensively, Tucker plays smart, taking high-percentage shots and always ready to set a screen or crash the boards. Tucker's reputation as an enforcer and glue guy made him invaluable on championship teams, especially with the Toronto Raptors and Milwaukee Bucks. His ability to do the dirty work that nobody else wants made him a fan favorite and a coach's dream. In a league full of flashy superstars, PJ Tucker is the gritty heartbeat, a reminder that sometimes toughness and willpower can outshine pure talent. Undersized? Sure, but he plays like a giant. Jaren Jackson Jr., the defensive wizard, changing the game. Jaren Jackson Jr. entered the NBA with a reputation as a defensive phenom, and he has lived up to every bit of that promise. Standing at 6'11", with a wingspan that seems to stretch forever, Jackson is the kind of player who can alter the course of a game without even touching the ball. His presence alone forces opponents to rethink every shot, every drive, and every pass. From early in his career, Jackson showcased an uncanny ability to protect the rim. Leading the league in blocks per game multiple seasons, he doesn't just reject shots, he intimidates shooters, turning the paint into a no-fly zone. But what makes Jackson truly special is the precision and timing of his defense. Unlike many big men who rely on raw athleticism, Jackson combines instincts with an advanced understanding of angles and positioning. He anticipates the opponent's moves like a chess player, thinking several moves ahead, often stealing or blocking shots before they're fully launched. But Jackson isn't just a defensive stalwart, his offensive game is surprisingly versatile. He stretches the floor with a reliable three-point shot, averaging multiple threes made per game. For a big man, his shooting touch adds a new dimension to his team's offense, pulling opposing bigs out to the perimeter and creating space for teammates to drive or cut. Still, Jackson's rebounding numbers sometimes puzzle analysts, as he occasionally struggles to dominate the glass despite his size and athleticism. Yet, this doesn't overshadow his immense impact on both ends of the court. His unique blend of shot blocking, perimeter shooting, and high basketball IQ makes him one of the most intriguing players in the NBA today. Off the court, Jaren has grown into a confident leader for the Memphis Grizzlies, guiding a young team. With energy and focus, his work ethic and quiet determination hint at a star still rising, a player who could one day be the face of the franchise and a defensive legend in the league. Jaren Jackson Jr. is more than just a shot blocker or three-point shooter. He's a blueprint for the modern NBA big man, one who can defend, stretch, and lead with a rare combination of skill and heart. Ben Simmons, the enigmatic playmaker, burdened by his own limits. Ben Simmons is a basketball paradox, standing at an imposing 6'10". With the ball handling skills and court vision of a point guard, he emerged as one of the NBA's most unique talents. From the moment he was drafted first overall in 2016, the basketball world buzzed with excitement. Here was a player who could guard any position, facilitate the offense, and dominate defensively. Simmons' strengths are undeniable. His playmaking ability is elite, averaging over 7 assists per game at his peak, threading passes through tight defenses with ease. His size and speed make him a defensive menace, able to switch onto guards or bigs seamlessly. On fast breaks, his blend of speed, length, and passing feels unstoppable. Yet Simmons' career has been overshadowed by one glaring limitation: his refusal or inability to shoot from beyond the arc. In an era dominated by spacing and perimeter shooting, Simmons' lack of a reliable jumper has been a glaring liability. Opponents sag off him on defense, daring him to shoot, which disrupts offensive flow and limits his scoring. This paradox has cost him in both perception and success. Fans and analysts praise his vision and defense, but criticize his offensive stagnation. His shooting woes have sparked countless debates and even drama, affecting his confidence and standing with teams. At times, his hesitation to shoot has frustrated teammates and fans alike, clouding the immense talent he does bring. Despite the challenges, Simmons remains one of the most fascinating players in the league. His combination of size, athleticism, and passing is rare, almost unheard of in NBA history. When healthy and confident, he can dominate games by controlling pace and breaking down defenses. Ben Simmons is a player caught between potential and limitation, a star whose greatness is sometimes eclipsed by the very gaps in his game. But his elite defense, playmaking, and versatility ensure he will always be a force to reckon with, leaving fans wondering how far he could go if he ever masters the art of shooting. Dennis Rodman, the rebounding machine, and basketball's wild card. Dennis Rodman is one of the most unforgettable characters in NBA history. A rebounding machine, defensive genius, and eccentric personality all rolled into one. Unlike the superstar scorers who flood highlight reels with points, Rodman built his legacy on defense, hustle, and an unrelenting obsession with grabbing rebounds. Rodman's rebounding numbers are legendary. He led the NBA in rebounds per game for 7 consecutive seasons, averaging over 13 boards a night at his peak. His knack for positioning, timing, and sheer tenacity made him the league's most feared rebounder, despite often being undersized for the power forward position. Rodman's rebounding wasn't just physical, it was mental warfare. He studied opponents, anticipated where the ball would go, and outworked everyone else on the floor. His defense was equally exceptional. Rodman won multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards, known for his ability to guard multiple positions and shut down some of the greatest scorers of his era. Whether it was guarding Michael Jordan or Karl Malone, Rodman was a lockdown defender who played with unmatched intensity. But Rodman's influence went far beyond stats. He was a wild card, a cultural icon whose off-court antics often grabbed headlines, from colorful hair and tattoos to eccentric behavior that polarized fans and teammates. Yet, behind the chaos was a player fiercely committed to winning, helping the Chicago Bulls and Detroit Pistons win multiple championships. Rodman's style was unconventional, his personality larger than life, but his impact was undeniable. He changed how defense and rebounding were valued, proving that you don't have to be a scorer to be a game changer. His relentless energy and passion made him one of the most valuable players on some of the greatest teams in NBA history. Dennis Rodman is basketball's ultimate rebounding legend, and one of the most colorful, influential figures the game has ever seen. A true testament to how hustle and heart can overcome anything. Luka Doncic, the European prodigy taking over the NBA. From the moment Luka Doncic stepped onto an NBA court, it was clear we were witnessing something extraordinary. Born in Slovenia, Luka was a basketball prodigy before he even turned 18. Having dominated Europe's top leagues and earned MVP honors in the EuroLeague, a stage that is arguably the toughest outside the NBA. Luka's game is a mesmerizing blend of old-school basketball intelligence and modern flair. His size, standing at 6'7", combined with his vision and passing skills, makes him one of the most versatile playmakers the league has ever seen. Watching Luka is like watching a chess grandmaster on the court. Every move is deliberate, every pass perfectly timed, always thinking several steps ahead. He's a triple-double machine, racking up points, rebounds, and assists at a historic pace for his age. But Luka isn't just about stats. His clutch performances under pressure reveal a player with the heart of a champion, whether it's hitting buzzer beaters or orchestrating last-minute comebacks. Doncic thrives when the stakes are highest. The way he reads defenses is uncanny. He can dissect zones, find cutters, and exploit mismatches with the poise of a veteran, yet he's still just in his mid-20s, leaving fans and analysts wondering how good he can get. His step-back three-pointer, a shot he often pulls out seemingly at random, has become his signature weapon, freezing defenders in their tracks. Off the court, Luka carries the weight of expectations as Europe's brightest star in the NBA, and he wears it with a quiet confidence. He's already a cultural icon, bridging the gap between European basketball and the NBA's global stage. Luka Doncic is more than just a young phenom. He's the future face of the league, destined to change the game with his unique blend of skill, charisma, and basketball IQ. Every time he steps on the court, it feels like witnessing a new chapter in basketball history being written. And there you have it, some of the weirdest, most unique NBA players in history who redefined what it means to stand out on the court. From Jaren Jackson Jr.'s defensive wizardry to Ben Simmons' puzzling brilliance and Dennis Rodman's rebounding mastery wrapped in pure chaos, these players remind us that basketball isn't just about points. It's about heart, hustle, and breaking the mold. If you enjoyed diving into these fascinating stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the NBA's wildest characters. Drop a comment below telling us which player surprised you the most, or if there's someone else you think deserves to be on this list. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep loving the game and keep celebrating all the beautiful weirdness that makes the NBA so unforgettable.